Yo, what's going on, my African people? I know that there's this crazy push to get married. The amount of pressure that Africans, especially Nigerians, get from our parents to get married is damn ridiculous. Which I understand some people make fun of it. And shout out to all the young people who are starting to push back on this bullshit. But I want to start challenging people who've been through toxic marriages to start speaking up. Because a lot of these marriages are not what they're cracked up to be. Can you imagine all the people who are suffering, silently suffering in marriages that are so toxic all around the world? Like your family members, your brothers, your sisters, your mothers, your fathers. Especially a lot of African women are burned as a result of horrible marriages. Especially African women who live on the African continent because they have no rights and protection whatsoever. These women get taken advantage of all the time, and literally not a single person is speaking up for them. And who are they going to talk to? This woman is married, has kids, has lost her prime. Meanwhile, her husband has the audacity to be doing all kinds of fuck shit. Who is going to speak up for her? Who's she going to talk to? And sometimes, in some situations, these women can't even talk to their own family members because the family members are going to start blaming her. And sometimes, actually, because she has no genuine relationship with her own family members. And let's talk about cheating. Of course, men and women cheat. That is true. But also, let's not act brand new. Men tend to cheat a lot more than women. Let's just keep it real. And men tend to have this audacity, this foul audacity to cheat like it's their God given right. Can you imagine all the African women in failed marriages that their husbands are cheating on them? And their husbands are passing down STDs to these women. And these women are suffering silently. Women constantly being infected with gonorrhea, syphilis, herpes, HIV. Can you imagine how many African women are silently living with HIV because of their husbands? All because of our parents forcing us to get married by fire, by force. Again, shout out to all the young Africans who are pushing back on this bullshit. But I challenge all the Africans who have been through toxic marriages to start speaking up. Let these young cats know that marriage is not all it's cracked up to be. I know we see all these weddings online, but trust me, a lot of these marriages are not as happy as they look. If you are a person who has been through a toxic relationship or toxic marriage, please speak up. Let this video be.
I'm gonna come back and put my 2 cents in there. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Okay, bye. So let's talk about the impact of toxic marriages, especially in African communities. Dear African ladies, dear African women, dear African, Ghanaian, Nigerian, blah, 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 Christian or religious, highly religious women who make marriage the centerpiece of their lives. Like outside of it, it's hard for them to have any type of identity. Long-term toxic relationship can lead to depression, low self-worth, and disempowerment. These patterns can activate trauma bonding or long-standing belief formed in childhood, which then goes back to attachment. Also, not to talk about the prevalence of STDs, STIs in such marriages, and a lot of women are forced to be silent about it because of the shame and the guilt. A lot of women are forced to be quiet and silent because they have no one to go to. A lot of women are forced to be quiet about it because they don't want the outside people to think that their marriage is on the rocks, as we said. And there's a lot of shame about trouble, or you go into your pastor and you tell them your issue. They usually will quote a Bible quote or two. There's not really, trauma verse support or really skill building in regarding to communication, ability to resolve conflict effectively, especially when it comes to men. For we women, we can talk about it, we can talk our emotions, the anxiety, the fears, everything that comes with it. But a lot of the men are not equipped or are literally unwilling or unbothered to do anything about it because they categorize a lot of these women as, oh, this is my wife, she's some type of a prude, a woman who's like in this box, and she's the mother of my children, and she served one purpose and one purpose only. She cooks, she cleans, she takes her, and then she pays the bills 50-50. And then I can also have the ability for her to hold down the fort while I have all this time on my hand because she's doing all the hard labor, including also paying 50-50. And I can go out there and looks good because now I have money because she's holding down the fort, and I can go in there and work on businesses, make me money, make me look good. And they're the women, I'll be like, if she's with him, what up with him? He looks good, he looks attractive, he has this money, da 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 da. So they're gonna chase after him, it's gonna get a side piece or two or three. And the scary thing with that is the bringing in of diseases. And the scary part of that, you absorbing all that negative energy into you, the sadness, the sitting there going, the is the one that's gonna kill you. And even you're not saying internally, it's disturbing you. I have this aura ring, and sometimes when you're internally disturbed, you don't even realize it. I went on a work trip and it was pretty stressful. The flights, the journey, and I had the kids with me, but I still had to work. And my ring kept telling me, be careful, find some rest, because your baseline temperature seemed high. Although I'm functioning, right? I'm like doing normal stuff. I don't feel like I do my normal every hour breathing techniques, trying to ease, but it's warning me for days at a time. I started taking vitamin C and zinc and resting in between, things like that. But it's warning me, it's telling me my internal system is activated, my inflammatory markers are high. Take caution, rest, do this and that. I like that cue in it from the aura ring, but I digress to say that to the point where we absorb all this stress, not just from work, but sometimes in a toxic marriage, you're observing that stress too, the anxiety, the uncertainty, that fear, that walking on eggshell, the lack of sleep, the depression, the sadness, the paranoia, the is it doing something, the do I need to check my phone, the conversation that don't know where, the inability to make any concrete decisions, the spinning, the twisting yourself into a pretzel, the lack of sex, the lack of intimacy, the lack of foreplay, the lack of acknowledging, the lack of you being honored, the mindset of like, is this person even normal? Is this person crazy? Is this person like needs a psychological eval? Are they dark? They might be dark. And trust your intuition and be like, I need to courageously jump out of this. But because we glorify marriage so much, we stay. But okay, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, and I'll follow up with some more videos like this. Okay, bye.
I was going to hang out with some ladies in other African countries. It was literally a baby shower that I went to. Then we had these topics, we had these chats going on, and the PR Nigerian women has about marriage is disgusting. They were asking me, yeah, Nigerian women are educated. When it comes to Africa, we are one of the most educated. We are top tier women. We are literally top tier women until it comes to marriage, and we turn to pygmies, and it's disgusting. Like, we are literally a laughing stock. I don't know if you have chats with other nationalities. Nigerian women in marriage, we have very bad PR. Then when it comes to the whites, they honestly believe that Nigerian women are the women that agree to stay in Nigeria to be maids, pretending to be maids while their men are married to them in here. So when it's a Nigerian man, as he say he's going back to Nigeria, they actually believe that Nigerian women are okay with being Nigerian wives, and they would call them lie and say they are the man's sisters or mothers or, daughters, just to help them scam white women. We have a very horrible PR for marriage. We do have a horrible PR. And funny is that they keep saying that we are learned. We are learned women. We are career women. We are beautiful women. We are literally top tier women until it comes to marriage. And we are all bullshit. Do you understand? So it is just, we need to, pipe it low with the pygmism, and give ourselves some grace, give ourselves some self-esteem. Marriage already has a bad PR. A Nigerian woman in marriage, it has a horrible PR already. Then we pop up in the news again if he says, if you're tired and he says he wants sex. Oh my God. No!
Marriages are breaking because most men are toxic. Some of you men are very toxic. Very, very, very toxic. You think you'd have to suppress and subdue your partner for the marriage to work. The marriages are failing. Your marriage is failing. You do not need to be a tyrant for your wife to be submissive. Women that are loved correctly are naturally submissive. When a woman is loved right, submission comes easily. But there are some of you who are so damaged to the point where you just feel like, oh, if you're not a tyrant, if you're not the Lord, the woman would not submit to you. And then you carry these women, you travel abroad, and they leave you. Because you have treated them badly over the years. And when they get where there's no family, there's no sense of shame, there's no societal pressure, there's no pastor that is, troubling them or advising them to stay in the marriage, they get away. And they don't want to have anything to do with you again. Not because the woman is bad. The woman is not bad. She stayed in abuse for so long. So there are some of you who do not even know that you don't have to lay your hands on somebody for you to abuse them. There's what they call emotional abuse. How are you in a marriage for 7 months, you will not speak to your wife? For 5 months, you will not speak to your partner. For 2 years, you guys will not have bedroom dance. What kind of marriages are these? What is going on? This lady told me the other day that in the course of the 14 years that she was married, 7 years of the marriage, she was not talking to her husband. Or her husband was not talking to her. The man can go 5, 6, 7 months without speaking to his wife. 2 months, 3 months, 1 month without speaking to her. She would beg and 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 beg, and she'll get to the point where she'll be like, okay, the day you're ready, you talk to me. Do you understand? So it's not about, oh, you must lay the hands. So some of you may, oh, I've never beaten my wife. I don't beat my wife. But you emotionally abuse your wife. There's emotional abuse. You emotionally abuse your wife. So what are we talking about?